I'm Bill Miko, and welcome to episode 1, part 1 of Bill on Bikes. This is my shop, the Motorcycle Garage in Phoenix, Arizona. I've been out here since 2008, and I started this business in 2012. We're going to do some cool videos. We're going to start with this first project. It was a 2008 V-Rod. It's here for a 30,000 mile service. I'm going to show you the valve adjustment. Needs fork seals. Maybe show you some of the differences of the cams, the micro stone finish grind or the cam ground finish. Maybe some of the spalling that you look at on the cam, on the toe or the heel. There's some different things on a V-Rod. I love the V-Rod. I think it was, for me, it was the best engine Harley-Davidson ever produced. I'm hoping they have great success with the new Revolution Max. It looks pretty cool. Anyway, so why listen to me? Why listen to Bill Miko? So I'll give you some quick background about me, and I'll take you for a little tour around the shop. So I started in the Harley-Davidson business in 1975 at just literally 13 years old. Some of the bikes in here for service. Usually I'm even much more packed than this. I put out about 15 bikes for Sturgis, and I'm a one-man show. I like working alone. I've tried having some help, but it just, I don't know, we just don't seem to see eye to eye anyway, especially with work ethic. Anyway, come out to the front of the shop. Got some cool bikes out here. I'll get back into giving you my background in a minute, but here's a nice anniversary deuce for sale. And then here's a pretty rare Confederate Crazy Horse, one of only 10 built. This bike has literally 1,000 miles, original owner bike. Last one sold at auction for $60,000, pretty cool. Hardcore custom chopper. And then next to it, here's a chopper I've been building for myself for quite some time. I'd love to get it done, but I'm always busy doing everybody else's stuff. So some of the carts that we have when we travel and go to shows, fueling products, cam plates, valve springs, tappets. We do a lot with fueling. I do a lot with S&S, but I do so much with fueling. They actually gave me their show board right off their display truck one year, so I really do a lot with them. Some cranks we do. A lot of times I'll send them out either the Revolution or Dark Horse. And stage 1, stage 2 heads over there. So a lot of mufflers. Do a lot with Chromeworks, another great company. And here's kind of our seating area over here. So pretty much where the guys come. Sometimes we hang out, have lunch, kind of talk a lot of bull about bikes, but everything I do is scheduled, so it's not like I can have guys come off the street and expect me to work on their bike. I just don't have that kind of time. But so getting into more of my background. So some of the bikes I've built over the years have been featured in American Iron. This bike here was a 2000 Deuce that I built, and it won the 05 American Iron Magazine bike show in Sturgis. Pretty cool. And some more magazine articles over here. This is some Easy Rider stuff. My brother Jimmy's bike, which he built the bike, but I always did his motors and trannies for him. And then here's another bike. This one I built for my father. That was with a Tripoli frame, and it was a rubber mount softail. One of very few made, actually. And of course he sold it because he sold everything I ever made. Here's another bike feature in 2005 in American Iron Magazine. Some of my years at Harley, you'll see me way in the back there. That guy right in the back with the hockey shirt on. I was 17 years old on winter break from high school as a senior and was allowed to go to Harley factory school. So what happened was Harley-Davidson gave me 2.5 years worth of credit. I worked at the dealership on weekends and nights for 5 years, from 1975 to 1980. That allowed me to go to factory school on winter break, which was it was different, that's for sure. Quite honestly, I was pretty scared. All those other guys in that picture, they all worked at, most of them worked at the York plant. So they were nice to me. I remember one of them wanted to get me a hooker. That wasn't, I was pretty nervous about that too, which didn't happen, but they wanted to. Some more years of me at Harley, different classes, different certificates. And then one, a real cool one, which relates to this V-Rod, which this was the initial V-Rod training class in 2001. That's Mike Marty on the far left. He was the instructor, super smart guy. And that's me, fifth in there from the right. We're on top of the factory. They had just finished restoring the water tower. We were allowed up on the roof to get our picture taken. Initially, you had to be a minimum of a master of technology. So with Harley, it was just a general tech, then you had master tech, then you had master of technology. Well, they only had enough master of technologies for about 2 weeks worth of class. And after that, then they let master techs go. I was a master of technology, pretty proud of that. Worked hard to get it, and still to this day, still working on the Harleys. Was also technical editor at Ultimate Motorcycling Magazine. Used to be the Rob Motorcycling Report, myself and my good friend Todd Wilson there. These are all articles that we wrote and were featured. Some more articles here. And then we had a nationally syndicated radio show, the Motorcycle Radio Network. Here's another bike I built that was featured in American Iron in 2001. And here's the bike. It was a stock Harley frame that I had a guy named Mark Rowe rake and stretch back east. Did a wonderful job. I was the Harley dealer on the Cape. That's where my father started the business. With my brother, who I worked with every day, and my father's wife, Diane. And we ran a pretty small crew, but we got a lot done. And I enjoyed it all those years, but it was also very stressful. A lot of times the customers would come to me and say, hey, did you watch Orange County Choppers? And for the longest time, I tried watching a couple episodes, couldn't really watch it anymore, because the only difference between me and OCC, at a family meeting, was a fist fight. And we had some pretty intense times there. It was pretty crazy. You can see I named this Red Hog. So took the kind of the red dog emblem back in the day and put an aggressive pig face in there. Supercharged, made the plenum chamber, all the brackets. That supercharger was actually for a 4-cylinder car. Keith Black low blow pistons are in here. It's running 8-to-1 compression with 5 pounds of boost. Lower end's all balanced. It's a really nice bike, and this will be my son's one day. And actually had Dave Perowitz stretch that headlight for me, the old classic Dave Perowitz stretched headlight. And Dave was probably a half hour down the road from my shop, so I've known Dave for years. And there is the feature on the bike. And some more articles that Todd and I had written for Ultimate Motorcycling Magazine and the Motorcycle Radio Network. And I also have a forensics company. I do product liability cases all around the country for judges and lawyers on V-twin liability. You get in an accident or whatever. I've had accident reconstruction, so it's pretty cool. I go in there and figure out what happened. It's a lot of work, but I still enjoy it. So let's go back to the back shop, and I'll also show you. So most guys for a retirement gift, they get a gold watch. Well, I get a call from Harley on just about a week before I was ready to retire. And they said, are you home? I said, yeah. They sent a guy with a little white pickup truck, and they gave me every service manual, every parts book put into print that they had from day one to 06. And they said, enjoy it. We'll know you put it to good use. And sure enough, that was really nice of them to do that for me. Maybe they're trying to butter me up to get me to come out here and work for them in Phoenix. So, by the way, I didn't end up taking that job, but that's another story, and we'll probably get into that another time. Do have a brand new dyno over there going together, a brand new DynoJet dyno. Should have that up and going pretty soon. I had a cycle dyne before. It was great. I designed this intake, so it was great for research and development, but actually, if you just want to do single runs, it was a real pain to set up. So I'm hoping this brand new DynoJet's going to work out well. It has all the bells and whistles, and we'll do a lot of episodes with that too. I do a lot with Thundermax, DynoJet. Here's an Evo we have apart doing the top end. I'm going to show you some unique things about that too. I have another Evo behind me that's getting ready to come apart. This twin cam, we're rebuilding this engine. I have this twin cam over here apart, twin cam B out of a soft tail. And there's the cases all stripped down. Well, maybe we'll show you about some of the ins and outs of the twin cam B. So old shovel head I'm doing down on the end there. I've been restoring that for a while. It's kind of a resto mod. I've done the motor and the tranny, and it came to me in buckets. So it's been a tough, kind of a hodgepodge, because it's an 84.5. There's a lot of unique things going on in 84.5. And again, on another video, I'll touch upon that. Just some other bikes in the shop here for work. Again, I put like 15 out for Sturgis, so normally you can't even move in this place. But I can start bringing in a little bit more work now. I have actually 3 more V-rods scheduled to come in here. So anyway, that's kind of the shop. I hope you like the tour. I want to do some pretty unique stuff that maybe you haven't seen before, even as a dealer principal. So when the V-Rod came out, this is laser etch, it's kind of faded now, but this was the initial, they called it the V-Rod Vision training event, and it started in August of 2001. And all the dealers would get this nice kind of metal case here, and the technical programs that were inside. But what I thought was really cool about this, that I had forgotten that I had in here, I've stroked probably 3 or 4 V-Rod motors, 4¼ inch bore, a little over 3-inch stroke. I mean, really, really fast motorcycles. Like, you can forget first gear. We put straight Vance and Hines second gears in, because the first is just useless. So you launch in second. I mean, there's so much fun to ride. Difficult to get parts. We used to run like Jones cams. You just can't get that stuff anymore. The original V-Rod Screaming Eagle big bore kit did some of those. But what I thought was really unique, and I'm going to have to type these up and maybe post them on the website. We're actually having a new website though. But are some of my notes from when, you know, I used to do the stroker V-Rod motors, megacycle cams, timing card. There's just a lot of notes here. There's a lot of trick stuff you need to do inside of that V-Rod motor to make it hold together. The real weak link in the V-Rod that I've ever really come across is the shifter mechanism. They break, and when they do, you got to split the cases. Initially on the first V-Rods too, in 01 and 02, the front stabilizer link, the way it was mounted to the case, if you fell over to the left and your foot peg hit the asphalt, you would crack your case. I had to replace 2 or 3 sets of cases because of that. They actually updated that and then put it on a heavier boss that came off the case, and that eliminated that issue. But anyway, I don't want to make these videos too long. Any suggestions that you have, please reach out to me. You can call me at the shop. Go to motorcyclegarage.net. Have our websites on there. You can scroll halfway down. We have a Facebook plugin. We do have a new website being built where these videos will be posted. It'll make it a lot easier. In the meantime, I'm just going to post them up to Facebook. So I'm going to get this apart, get the airbox off, get the rockers off, and the next video will be on the valve adjustment on the V-Rod. Thanks for watching. See you next time.